Hi class. So I've been out with my dogs, walking my dogs earlier, and I was kind of a mess, and so I left my hat on. But I wanted to show myself when I talked about this. So I wanted to go over this week's, week two's summative assessment, which is an evaluative assessment assignment that evaluates you on what you've learned so far in the class. So for the first 2 weeks of our class, looking at the writing process and the rhetorical situation. So for this assignment, you're going to read through here, which talks about what rhetorical situations are and the way you need to use them, whether in your own life or in the work world or in other situations, to communicate with others, and to use what we call adaptive written communication, which is your ability to choose an appropriate channel for communication, such as an email or a memo or a letter that you write or an essay or research paper for your academic classes. And then determining who your audience is and how you need to communicate your message, right? And in what ways you're going to present that in these different situations, as well as based on what your purpose is for writing this: to persuade someone, to ask for something, to just argue a position that you have, to give advice, or I don't know, communicate at work with somebody. So the ability to analyze a rhetorical situation before you communicate is really important, and it is what impacts and influences your choices as a writer, as a communicator. And so what you're going to do is you're going to analyze different types of texts for the rhetorical situation in order to become more familiar with it. So for this assessment, you're going to respond to rhetorical situations to demonstrate your ability to discuss the purpose, the audience, context, genre, essay, short story, poem, research paper, email, etc., the structure and organization of those written works. And so you're going to respond to these, and you're going to do this by opening up this worksheet, and you're going to review different genres of writing in order to make informed responses about the rhetorical situation in each passage. And so there are no specifically right or wrong answers, but whatever your position is, your interpretation, your analysis, you must support it with examples from the text that you feel provide evidence for your analysis, your interpretation. And of course, you're going to proofread this for grammar and mechanics. And there's a rubric you can look at beforehand and before you submit it. And there is some tools for investigating the rhetorical situation. So that is this website right here. And you click Start Course, and it's going to take you through this lesson on the different elements: the purpose, the audience, the structure, the genre, the context, the conclusion. So you can go through this like this and then continue, and it will take you to the next. And then you can look through here at the different genres and then continue, and it's going to take you to the purpose. And this is going to help to make you familiar with these concepts, these elements in the rhetorical situation that you are going to use to analyze these texts. So when you download your worksheet, it's going to look like this, and it will give you instructions again. And there's even a link here that will take you to those tools that I just showed you, that lesson on investigating the rhetorical situations. And then it will give you an example passage, which includes an example of exactly what you're going to do. So these are the questions the writer's purpose. Who is the writer? What are they intending? What are they doing with this text? What's their purpose? Who's the audience within this text based on the way they're writing? What is their genre? And you're going to answer in your response, as well as give evidence, specific passages that you're going to quote and put into your response in the organization structure. And these are the passages, so you're going to do that with this passage, passage 1. And again, you have your questions, and you're going to respond just like in the example previously. And then a passage number 2, and then you're going to respond just like you did, and then passage number 3, and then you're going to respond to the writer's purpose and who is the writer and who is the audience, and so on, the genre, the context, and the organization and structure. This is a little overview as well from someone from the University of Phoenix, and there are also your resources here at the bottom. So if you have any questions about any of this, of course, send me a message, and I will help to clarify that. All right, hope you're having a good night, and have a good rest of your week.